Hi, welcome to Lakewood, open for business. This month, we're at Deli Italia along Lakewood's northern boundary to learn how to make an authentic Italian sub from scratch. Deli Italia is Lakewood's only market dedicated to serving all things Italian. Let's check it out. Hello.
Hello,
Hi, I'm Mike.
I'm Riccardo Pacini.
Good to meet you, sir. Boy, how many types of pasta do you have on that shelf?
Probably 80, 85, I'm not sure. I remember when I built a shelf like 20 years ago, it's the same shelf, and I wanted to fill every one of them with different pasta. And in the 90s, there was one brand that brought over 150 cuts of pasta to the States, so I tried to get them all. And now I still have quite a few different brands.
So, Riccardo, how did you wind up in Lakewood?
We came in the States in '59, my sister and I, and then we worked very hard, minimum wage job. We brought the rest of the family to the United States. I was in New York for 10 years. And then I got married. My first wife was from Denver, anyhow. And then, I always liked to live around 20th Avenue, I never liked to be on the outskirts that much. So this was a natural for me to be here.
So where was home? What part of Italy are you from?
From Tuscany, the region, the province of Lucca, near the coast. There is a town called Viareggio. The region is called Versilia, which is a strip of land between Cinque Terre and Pisa. That's strip of land on the coast.
So who are your customers and where are they from? What are they looking for?
We have a very good clientele of people coming for sandwiches, and then sometimes they come here, they see other stuff, and they buy the fresh mozzarella, they buy coffee, espresso, cookies, and pasta. This is the pasta central. There's nowhere else you can get that much.
Riccardo, you've got so many items on the shelf here. What all do you sell?
Well, we sell a lot of pasta, for one thing. And then we sell a lot of olive oil, because the olive oil we bring in is very, very good. You cannot find olive oil like this. And then we sell meat, cheeses, Parmigiano Reggiano. We can grate you while you wait. We have a special coffee called Danese Doppio. Doppio means double strength. And then we have imported drink, artichokes, olives, polenta in a tube, and of course the tomato, the DOP tomato. And the mascarpone we sell too, and we also sell tiramisu already made. Then we make, of course, the fresh mozzarella. Ours is always warm because it doesn't sit around long enough to cool down. But mozzarella is very warm because all the body fat is loose, and so it's creamier. And we tell the customer when they take it home to warm it up in the microwave if it chills down, especially in the winter.
Of all the things that you have on the shelf here and behind the counter, what's your biggest seller?
The DOP tomato, we sell them by the case. Every week we sell 3 or 4 cases of tomato. People take them home because they figure they don't want to have to come every week to get them. They get them for a month. And of course, the sandwich is a big thing too.
Of all the wonderful, delicious things that you have to sell here,
yes.
Riccardo, what's your personal favorite? What do you like to eat?
The personal favorite is the porchetta. Porchetta, it's a piece of loin, this big, pork loin, that I make myself. I rub in salt, rosemary, garlic, and black pepper, curing salt too, and for 3 or 4 days. And then I cook it slowly in the oven, less than 200 degrees. And when it comes out, I have a piece there. Actually, I made some this weekend. And the stuff you can taste the rosemary, it's really, really good.
What's it like to make that wonderful mozzarella?
Let's go, I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the mozzarella almost ready to be done, okay? Mm-hmm. So at this point, we dump the water out. And this is the soft cheese now. Oh. Then we go over there by the table. I put a little bit of salt on it and the cheese because the salt makes it last long and the flavor, develop the flavor. And then we flip it over a couple of times, but you don't want to work too much with it because the more you work, the more body fat you lose. This is ready to go. I shouldn't work it more than I did now. Maybe a little bit like this, you see? And then I'll squeeze a little ball out.
Oh, yeah.
This is your tasting.
Oh, great.
Now, this is the cameraman.
It's good.
By doing this, I put it into like this, and then we wrap it. That way, keep the shape. I could put it in a bowl of lukewarm water, and that would keep the shape too. But then, you know, in the bowl, somebody could just fork him out of there, you know, with a toothpick or a fork, and just eat it.
What is fresh mozzarella, and how is it different from what we might find here in one of our supermarkets?
The mozzarella we have here is whole milk. The mozzarella that you find in a grocery store or in water, they come in a package like this, is done in the factory. It's par skin. That's the only way they can travel and last several weeks, you know, in water. But it doesn't have the richness, the texture of the whole milk mozzarella, especially when it's this fresh. And it's made with, you know, cow's milk. You cannot make it with goat milk.
So the secret really is to keep it warm.
Yes, keep it warm. I don't know if you noticed, this is the eating pad.
Oh, I didn't notice that. So you're keeping it warm even as it sits there. Ricardo, what are some of the more popular recipes that you'd find mozzarella used?
But you can use it in pizza and a lot of cooking, like lasagna and pizza and stuff like that. But the most important one is called mozzarella caprese. You slice a very ripe, fresh tomato, and one slice of mozzarella, one slice of tomato, and then some good extra virgin olive oil, maybe a sprinkle of fresh basil leaf. And that's the best mozzarella.
You mentioned the meats. Can you show me some of those?
Yes, this is the prosciutto di Parma. It's got a little handle here. You can see the Parma crown burn into the skin. Now we put it on a slicer. See, the thickness has to be just right, you know. Would you like a taste?
Absolutely. That's delicious.
Okay, would you like a taste of the porchetta?
Sure.
Well, you tell me what you think of this.
Delicious.
Mortadella is actually the original Italian bologna.
Bologna, all right.
You know, this is the original meat. The finest thing that comes from Bologna or Italy.
What are some of the things that make this imported meat so much different and so much better than what you might find in a local grocery store?
Because in Italy, the meats, the one in highest quality. Here, people, the public wants looking at the price all the time. You know, if you go to the supermarket, they're not going to have a meat like this. We don't have to have anybody select our meat. We know which one is good or which one is not good. And then even in a prosciutto like this, especially prosciutto, it has to be sliced just so. You know, each meat has a certain thickness it has to be.
So a lot of times it's more than just the quality, it's the expertise that goes into preparing it.
Sure. Even with the cheeses, you know, in a good place, they'll know how the cheese is made, which one is good or not. A lot of the supermarket, they have a pre-cut cheese that we cut in the factory, wrapped up, and they could be sitting there for 2 months, 6 months, you know, and they're not fresh anymore, even though they're refrigerated, you know. We grade our Parmigiano Reggiano on demand, you know, if people on request. They want pick a piece of cheese and we grade it for them on the spot.
Would it be safe for me to say that you're having fun? You really enjoy doing this, don't you?
I enjoy doing this. Yeah. 3 days a week I could do it for forever, almost.
Tell me about your homemade toppings.
Well, we make them all here. The spinach, the eggplant, the olive spread, and the peppers, of course, except for the Giardiniera, we bring it in from Chicago, you know, on a truck. Sometimes we get gallons, sometimes we get 5-gallon buckets, you know, but we go through a lot of that. Okay, here we have garlic, some parsley, and some red cabbage, and they go into the blender, okay? The second thing is fresh carrot and fresh celery goes in there too. And then we have, this is pickle in vinegar, a cauliflower too, and pepperoncini. First, we churn all this up together by himself, and I put a little bit of crushed red pepper. Of course, we have garlic as a spice, and we put a little bit of fennel seeds. Now we don't do any salt because there is already salt in the olives. Okay, first we churn those up. When this is cut down to the right size, see? Then we add the olives. In the olives we got 3 different kinds. Those are Sicilia from Sicily, peated. They're all peated olive. You can have the bones in there. And we put them all in. Then I have this other batch here. It's those are black oil cured peated olive, and this is Kalamata. Okay, so we put those in. And at that point, I got the spices in there. We just finish it up. That's it.
Wow.
Would you like a taste?
Sure.
Look at you.
Need you ask.
Teaspoon. This, you know, I consider has to go through 2 slices of bread, you know, and then meats and cheeses. So.
Oh, that's good. So this really is sort of the secret ingredient for the sandwich we're about to make.
Yeah, the sandwich we're about to make, this is going to be it.
That's delicious. So we're halfway to a sandwich. Can you show me
How to make
what
a
goes
sandwich?
into it?
Yeah, sure. Okay, we'll make one about this size, between 8 and 5 inch, okay, for this particular
Now
thing.
tell me where you get the bread from.
The bread comes from Paul Bakery. He's a Frenchman that has been making bread since he was 10 years old. And he has a bakery in Denver. He delivers fresh bread every morning. So now for the muffaletta, we put this olive tapenade on it, and then we're going to put some ham, and then we're going to put some salami, and then we put some capicollo, and then we go in with some tomato. You're going to have to take this with you guys, huh? Okay, and then cheese.
It may not make it off the property.
Okay, that's some cheese. Okay, and then a little bit of lettuce.
Boy, that looks great.
We get a little bit of the homemade dressing, and that's it. Normally we take this thing and we cut it in 2. And for people that eat here, we put it on a plate.
Plate will be fine.
The plate will be fine. Okay.
Told you wouldn't make it out of here.
Okay.
Take the part with the end here, since I like the end so much.
Yep.
That is a great sandwich, Riccardo. Ricardo, after tasting it, I can only imagine, but what do your customers say? What kind of feedback do they give you?
Well, some of them, they come in and they settle for a New York hoagie, which is a basic sandwich without the thing, and they stay there. Other people, they start on one side of the menu, go through the whole menu. Every time they try a different sandwich, and then they settle on the New York hoagie or the dragon sub. Some people come dragon sub day after day. We have people coming in 4 days of the week, getting the same sandwich in the same week, 4 or 5 days.
So what's the most popular sandwich?
I think it's the dragon sub.
Dragon
Because people in this part of the world, they like a little bit hot food, you know.
And I noticed on the menu there is Dante's Inferno. Tell me about that one.
Dante's Inferno, I developed that one in 1995. I just started churning up some habanero with some garlic, a little curing salt, and oil. And you know, I remember the first time I did, I touched my face, and my face was on fire. Now, I scrub before I make the stuff, and I scrub after I make the.
Only the bravest of the brave
The
need to
bravest
try
of-
that one.
they try that one. And they do, you know. I've seen ladies coming, I want to try the Dante Inferno. Young girl, you know, okay, you're tougher than I am.
You ever give them a warning that this is
Oh,
really
yeah,
hot?
yeah.
What would you tell somebody who's watching this and wondering about, is it really that good?
I think it's as good. You know, I'm using my standard. If this stuff is not good enough for me, I'm not going to sell it. Of course, growing up in Italy, we ate a lot of bread, you know, so the bread has to be special. It has to be very, very good. If you don't have good bread, life isn't worth living to me.
So this is really personal for you too.
Personally, yeah. Good food, you know, it's part of life. It has a lot to do with your health too. I like to buy them even when, for my own home, the best food I can possibly get, because my health is tied to it.
Mom and pop shops truly are the lifeblood of any city, and a unique business like this really helps to set Lakewood apart. Be sure to join us again next month when we visit with another local homegrown business right here on KLTV8's Lakewood Open for Business.